Hey, what's happening, everybody? Welcome back to the Team Nerd Herd podcast, where our best advice here is if you want to do it right, collect what you like. But Monday FANime Talks, you know how it goes. If you want to view it right, anime for life. And today, me and Los Hermanos, my hermano right there, we're going to be going over Vampire in the Garden on Netflix. So it's a pretty quick watch, 5-episode series. But animation was on par, pretty dope. But let's not spoil it. Before we get into that, I'm gonna holler at my man. What's going on? Oh, I also wanted to say happy belated Father's Day to all the homies who, everybody who's a daddy, father figures, funkles, you know what I'm saying? Like my man right here. Happy belated Father's Day, and I believe it's Juneteenth too.
It is Juneteenth.
Yes, happy Juneteenth. Yes, indeed. So, but Steven, how's it going, brother? Talk to me, man.
Great, brother. It's going great, man. Happy Father's Day to you, man, my man.
Appreciate it.
Making an impressionable difference to my niece and nephew, man. So gotta love you, man, and gotta love the rest of the fathers out there in the common community and also in any kind of community. I mean, it takes a village to raise a child, and a father figure is the most important thing, man. You got to teach a man how to be a man, and you got to teach a woman how to be yelled, like how a man should be treated,
Yeah.
Or not how a man should
how a woman should be treated. Reverse that.
Yeah, I'm about to get yelled at, but they're like, this mother right here is messing up.
So why does it always have to be about the man, son?
Yeah, what about the man's needs? What about the woman's needs?
Yeah, dude, we got to think about them ladies.
Oh,
dude.
okay, my bad.
Yeah, take a step back, play it. Let's get back into it.
Yeah, come on, back into it, dude.
Yeah.
You already know, man. The weekend was treated me nice, man. Got a little sun.
Yeah.
Now we're getting after it, like on a Monday. So we on some FANime Talk right now.
Yes.
So let me go ahead and let's go ahead and do it off right?
Yeah, man. I mean, we gotta holler at them mods. You know what I'm saying, dude?
Oh yeah, man. Shout out to the faction. They're jumping in action, man. Brother number one, brother Rudy. He is the lucha leader of this bunch, man. Pillar of the community. You'll see him in all the chats. He's a great supporter.
Yep, see him right now in the chat.
Oh shit! Look, he's up in there already. He saw
Hermanos.
Right. Yeah. What do we got here? Brother number two, Something Wong. You already know something right's gonna happen when that guy's around, man. He is a golden age collector and connoisseur. He's the executive producer of Geek Factor Live.
Right.
He's just all around great guy. That guy.
Yeah, dude. Excellent collector.
Brother number three. Count him. Yeah. Brother number three.
That's
right. Anime, etc. The anime, etc. Senpai. He is the legendary Sanin up in these parts, man. Yes. Anime lover and fan. And we got to give it up to the anime. So shout out to my brother D.
Our brother D.
Brother number four, all the way on the other side of the pond, man. Eating his fish and chips. One with the force and the flatulence. A DC lover coming at you at 4K crystal clear. He is my horror mono, Glenn 2K12. What's going on?
That's right. What's happening, Glenn?
All right. We want the fuck. And then you got those tantalizing, delicious beats.
Gotta get them.
Beats by Monster?
That's right, brother Eddie, man. Always providing us with them beats, man. You know it.
But do one better, man. Give him a shout out for his Father's Day and happy birthday.
That's right. That's right. Happy birthday, big brother Eddie. Yes, handsome bastard he is, man.
I know, man. Gotta give him mad love, man. Yes. Known that boy since 12. And
he's the man, dude. The ride or die, the familia.
That's right, dude.
Yes,
let's go ahead and do this.
Shall we get into the herd chat, man? We gotta holler out to them. Liz, what's happening, girl?
Good to see you. Battle Panda Liz, good to see you, girl. Good to see you. We missed you, and we're glad to see you. Hope all is well.
Yes,
G Comic with the keys, to the comic community. Yes. Giving us a thumbs up. What's up, brother?
There's
Rudy?
The man right there, Rude.
You're never running late, brother. You're never running late. You're always on time, my brother. We're here. You got Zen Multiverse. What is going on to
my
Zen?
Man?
If you ain't following my brother Zen, go ahead and follow his channel, man. He got all type of interesting things from gameplay to anime, man.
Yeah.
Versus segments, dude, where he's pitting superheroes against each other.
Dude, and character and comic breakdowns, man. I mean, dude, he's in it, man. I love it.
Dude, I also love it. I equally love it, Eric. All right, man. I think we are all caught up with the herd chat, man. So we can go ahead and get started on Vampire in the Garden, man. that Netflix sensation. But I'll go ahead and allow you to do the, Bob Ross, paint strokes for us, brother. Go ahead.
You're too kind, man. You're too kind. But yeah, I mean, what when I first, was looking at, certain releases that were coming out within this year, just based on the cover art from Netflix that had provided us, it just really spoke to me. And there was a reason why, because I was like, there's something very familiar about the art that's there, something familiar within the character's eyes, and I mean, dare I say, I mean, I just want to say this is just the description of the two individuals that we have, and they're actually both our main characters within the series. And it turns out that Tetsuya Nishio, an animator that has worked on different animes here and there, but one that really spoke to me and that I'm super familiar with, and I'm sure most of you anime fans are out there too, is Naruto. So if there was something familiar that you guys did see, then that's probably what you ended up noticing too. So we got some Naruto workers up in here, and so that's he's making it look super fresh. And so getting into our main characters, I mean, well, I guess we'll just like kind of set the stage, because this is just a different world, you guys. I mean, we're talking about humans, vampires, you know what I'm saying? And it's not quite like Blade, and there is a vampire movie that's out there that it's like on the tip of my tongue. I just cannot for the life of me remember what the vampire movie is, but I mean, it's we got vampires and humans trying, doing what they do. They one of them is, we're cattle to them, and obviously we're going to be trying to defend ourselves within this. So the climate here, you guys, it is just a very ice cold world right now. You know what I'm saying? They're like in Moscow. I'm not really quite sure. Some of the language that is written, it seems like it was definitely somewhere out there. But it's real cold. And so, we're taking place at a military base where our main character, Momo, is currently working at, and for, she's kind of like a mechanic, junks, kind of like gets things together and kind of salvages what they can in order to see the progression of the base. What's going on, Kenneth? How you doing, man?
Kenneth, the bird's the word, and you got to say what's up to Inja, the beheaded ninja. She said my favorite brother, my favorite girl in the community.
Right?
Don't tell Sheena. She'd be like, excuse me.
I know, but if we don't say that, Inja will behead us, dude. Like, no lie, dude. Right? She's always strapped. She's got the blade, man.
That's right. She's the best.
That's right.
To make the Team Nerd Herd open up the stuff they love, man. She just wielded some magic. I tell you, I was like, I don't care about this thing.
I know, and that was without a knife in her hand. She didn't even pick up a blade and stick it to you guys and say, "Open it." She didn't even do that, man. She was all class that episode. If you guys didn't catch it, definitely go back to the rewind, dude. Hilarious episode. Super good. But yeah, kind of getting back into it. So we do see Momo, and she does have like a companion with her, somebody that she's very close to. I believe her name is Mirena. They're both very, I guess I don't know if it's kind of, there's love that's there. I'm not 100% sure. It kind of seemed like there may have been more of a romantic love that was there. But it also could have been just the world that they're living in and just kind of like the harsh realities of it. They're tired of like just war. It's just basically a battle of survival for the human race. And then it also in turn, it's the same way for the vampires, because vampires gotta eat, vampires gotta drink, otherwise they're gonna be extinct.
Get got.
Yeah, they're gonna get got. But again, I did enjoy the spin on how they were able to kind of go out during the day. That was definite difference there. Like, they're not going to burn up right away. They got clothes on, they got a hoodie, got some glasses, man. They could go to the mall during the day. You know what I'm saying?
Get their shopping done. You know what I mean?
That's right, dude, to catch that blood bank. And so, But Morena and Momo, they both have a fatuation with music, you guys. And so music in this world for the vampires, it's like very much so a way of living. It's their art, they know how to sing, they know
Expression.
how to, yes, very much so. It's just a life expression. And so but for the human side, they more or less see that as, that's right, they see that as like tainting of, like life itself, like they think like that's a vampire thing. Like we don't do music, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's like Miguel's grandma from Coco, no music, you guys, at
Yeah.
all. And Momo and Morena come across while they're doing well, they're on a mission and they infiltrate some vampires. There were a couple of close calls, within the teammates. Some humans, of course, died. A lot of vampires died as well. And unfortunately, a young vampire, gal that ends up, injecting herself with some sort of like steroid serum, it seems as though. And it really it took her to the next level, totally
She looks
transformed
like
her
a damn
body.
Pokemon.
Yeah, dude, she looked wild, and so but she got taken out. And so Momo takes this music box home, and she kind of fixes it together, and her and Morena are listening to it together, just admiring the sounds and really captivated by this music. And you can tell like that's a very cool world that you guys are living in, that music is not something that is allowed. And what's even crueler is that the person that is not like, that has to reinforce all of this, because this is a military base, is Momo's mom, who is the big general. She's the big boss gal up in
Yeah.
there.
And she's mean, bro.
Yeah, Nobara, you know what I'm saying? And she's like the trudge bowl from freaking I forget, the Madeline or something like that, Matilda, there you go. She's
Yeah.
real strict, you guys, like rules with an iron thumb. And you can tell like that Momo is just not about this life, that she just wants to. Her and Miranda's plan is to flee and try to get as far away from this hell, this winter hell, as they possibly can. However, like obviously there's a lot of things for them, that a lot of hurdles that they're going to have to go through in order, to kind of get this point across. Let's see, the realm of vampires, it's so much glory. Yeah, combined with anime. Yes, indeed, Rudy, that's right.
You done said it, Rudy. You done said it.
Yes, man.
The truth was told. My brother never lies. Only
Yeah.
only if need be. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like if I tell him, "Yo, Rudy, did I drop a couple pounds?" I expect my man to be like, "No, you didn't."
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
like, maybe cut down on that dozen of donuts, Steve. Call it right down the line,
And then Zen, he's commenting that he doesn't know what he would do without music. And truer words were never spoken. Music is just a very, like Steven said, very key way of expressing, yourself.
So why don't we kind of do a interlude right now, Eric?
Sure. Yeah.
Let's kind of open up the chat. Let's get interaction going, man.
Yeah.
Let me start this question off with you. This time I'm gonna ask you the questions.
All right, man.
And you ain't gonna ask the questions.
All right, let's hit it, dude. I'm here.
All right. Closest to Zen, and this also goes in the her chat too. I want Buzz, man. I want to know what your guys' thought is, whether just the sense, but I want to know why. If you had to remove one of your senses, two major, man, it would be sight or your hearing.
So any one of the five senses, you're saying?
Well, basically? Yeah, if they had to tell you that, hey, we're gonna remove one of your senses, and it's one that you can't live without, right? I guess it kind of goes both ways, right? For some people to be able to see the people that they love, and to be able to see sights on, like seeing the world and whatnot, but able to hear laughter though is a different thing. To be able to hear other people's emotions, come out of their voice, right? So that would be a question. Yeah. Station,
what's going on, Cody? What's happening? Cryo Prime, baby, what's up, man?
Let's do it, Eric.
Let's see
what the her chat has to say too.
Clearly, I have all my five senses now, so I really can't, live without any of them. But if I had to say, just kind of like from a strategic perspective, I guess, maybe taste. I would probably say my taste, because then Like I could eat all the healthy ish I want, you know what I mean? And like kale, all them superfoods, beets, like they say that's nature's candy, and I beg to differ, man. I've tried that; they taste like dirt. But I mean, like I would be able to be healthy, you know what I mean? There's a lot of tasty things that I am gonna regret having, but I mean, I feel like smell is something that for me, that's a big one that I don't want to lose. Obviously, I want to see my kids. I want to hear my kids. Touch. I gotta. It touches. Just it is what it is. So yeah, I'm gonna go taste later,
Rudy
man.
said touch is a keeper right here. It
Yeah.
just said taste and smell go hand in hand. Bam, probably smell. Yeah, you don't want to be smelling no farts and stuff like that. You know what I mean?
No doo doo.
Yeah, man. Yeah, probably taste, right?
Yeah. What about you?
I was asked this question so long ago, but they didn't go with all five. They only went with two.
Okay.
My boy said either sight or sound, and I was just like, like I could go without sight, but I couldn't go without sound. Like sound, music. Like laughter.
Sure.
Like hearing other people. Not being able to see them is going to hurt, but being able to hear that they're there and know that like there's so much more. To be heard is a wonderful thing too, I think, as well. I mean, there's people that don't really get to speak, and have not been spoken to or shy or whatnot. So when you do kind of get that kind of like revelation or that first step of somebody opening up and like going from maybe like introverted to extroverted in their life,
Right.
I think that's a beautiful thing. So I mean,
Yeah.
bam, Liz hit up.
Yeah.
I would give up sight.
Yep.
All right,
Yeah,
all right, man. Oh shit!
we got what's up, papa? ¿Cómo estás, compadre?
Como está, papa? Straight out of work, looking keen and mean, like Mean Gene. I wouldn't want to be able to see. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
You're right.
yeah. I would, to see, your kids and stuff like that. So like my hearing, if I had to say between the two, hearing, as much as I love music, as much as I would, want to hear my kids, I would rather see them. You know what I mean? I'd like to be able to see them, and I'll learn to read their lips. You know what I mean? And have that at least. But like, I mean, that was a good question, and that really does kind of set like that tone of, it just made me feel very melancholy, and that's exactly what I felt as I was looking, at the scenery and just looking at the harsh reality of what Momo and Marina are having to go through. We got Black Crown. What's going on, fam? How you doing, brother?
What's going on, BCCC? BCC. I added too many C's. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah,
you guys are not subbed up.
Yeah,
I know I had to see. Sub them up, dude.
Yeah.
Previously on, man. You got to get that previously on in your repertoire.
That's right. That's right. And so like knowing that you guys are going up against vampires, humanity is, doing the best that they can to survive, and they seem to be doing a pretty decent job. But life is just war. It's all about war. It's winter. The entire time that we're in this anime, and unfortunately, like any anime, the main character has to suffer some form of loss. And to her, unfortunately, while they're at war, she witnesses Marina, the love of her life. It seems as though the close bond that they had is now just crumbling right in front of her. She gets taken out, but while she gets taken out, there's a vampire that actually attempts to save her, and we do get a glimpse of what this vampire is like. And her name is oh my gosh, I don't know why, Fine. I'm sorry, Fine. And Fine is the vampire queen. I guess you could say she's I don't know if it's just within her particular like family tree, or is she just a queen of all vampires at this point. But her personality is very different. She's
carefree,
obviously on the winning side, considering that she's a vampire. But yeah, she is very carefree, very whimsical. You could tell like she enjoys life. She loves drinking, loves a good party, and these vampires are living like aristocrats, y'all. Like they're living it up. The bougie dresses, butlers, mansions, all that. Like they're living the dream.
Life. what I mean?
Yes, yes, but like, and that's just within the exterior. But within the interior, what's going on with Finne is that she's not 100% happy. You know, like she's happy with the music and in the moment, but there is a reason as to why that is. But we're gonna find that out later. But because of this war that is going on, obviously she has some attachments to people, and Allegro is one of them for her, which seemed the Allegro is a servant, very long time childhood friend of hers, and so he's basically like her right hand. But at the same time, he's having to kind of be her compass. He's like got to kind of point her back in the direction of where she is. You know, like you're a vampire. You know, like trying to coexist and be with humans. You know, like she's always trying to be secluded and be on her own, and that's very hard when you got queen-like duties. To kind of attempt to do. However, even through all of that, she still kind of has like a kind heart. Like she's is a vampire, but has very much so of those human like emotions, and so and she demonstrate that by trying to save Morena, within the first episode, and unfortunately she just dies. And so the only person that she is actually able to save within this, because she knows that Momo, she heard her in the forest, she said, like, I want to find some place of peace. And so she has a choice to go with Fine and try to find it. But as hard as that is, because you're going with the enemy, you know what I mean? So it's almost as though that is like a kind of like a Romeo and Juliet, like you got two just opposing sides that just, water and oil, they don't mix.
Mm-hmm. The other thing that we didn't highlight either is that Fine is different from the vampires, as that she doesn't feed.
Yes.
So she stopped feeding. There was something that kind of happened. Like the one thing I will say about this anime is that I really like the scenes of life going back into life. They kind of collage that all together. The art is amazing. The color usage is perfect. It kind of like wraps you into what is going on. And Eric hit the nail on the head. It's very much and very reminiscent, like a Romeo and Juliet type of tale. They're like kind of like kindred spirits in one sense, right? Like Fina is this older vampire, and Momo is just lost. Like
she's a teenager. She's a teen.
Yeah, like and she's also very impressionable, right? She's like free spirited as well. So it's kind of like that first episode was amazing, where you see them just kind of leave.
Yeah,
it just kind of opens up to more. So let's get on. Let's get into the next one.
Yeah, well, I mean, like with going into episode 2, and in a way, I do enjoy how they kind of make this progression of, kind of frenemies, to what Momo is kind of thinking, because like she's thinking that Fine is going to feed on her eventually, that there's no way that she could be as kind-hearted as she is. But she's not trying to pull the wool over her eyes. Like she who she is. She wears her heart on her sleeve. It seems as though, and so there has to be a trust that's being built. And so Fine is really looking out for her. There's a couple of episodes, like I guess you could say traumatic episodes that Momo is kind of going through when she, is having a bad dream. She's sleepwalking. She's just having a really hard time digesting everything that just happened. And now that she's kind of like catching some rest with the enemy, and Fine is just trying to show her like some companionship, a little bit of love, like she takes care of her. She shows her, has her listen to some records, music, singing, and she's trying to teach her, like about this culture that has been stripped away from them, intentionally, I suppose, because it just is very reminiscent of vampire behavior. And their relationship, is built pretty fast. They have to endure, they got to work together. They do get to know each other through, certain things, music and like flowers and, very, things that, like that you know, that we're blessed with seeing, you know, like, and fortunate to see every day, you know, like, you just want to see paradise, you know, simply look outside and view it, you know, Willy Wonka said it. And
Mhm.
so it's the truth.
You said
And
Willy Wonka said it.
you
I'm
know, and
I'm just trying to live that kind of life, bro.
you know, and so are they, man, my man, and so are they. And so, but it doesn't come again without any hurdles. They got to drive. They're being hunted from both sides, and so they're like fugitives on the run together. We do get another character that comes into play who is a little bit of a badass. I believe, let's see, it's Kubo, and Kubo is Nobara's brother and Momo's uncle, and he just wields a sword.
There ain't nothing but fun about that Funko.
Yeah, yeah, dude. And so yeah, he ain't fun. But you could tell like he does care. Obviously, that's his niece, and so he's been sent on the mission with his team to go and find her. And obviously, there's going to be some repercussions that Momo is going to have to take if she gets caught and returns back to base. You know, with her mom being in the big seat, I'd imagine she's going to get some lashings. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, so it's true,
Willie
Rube.
Dub.
It's true, man.
He said Willie Dub. I'll never call him Willy Wonka anymore.
That's right,
Willie
man.
Dub.
That's right. Gene Wilder, man.
If
And
you wanna view paradise.
that's right, dude. And so yeah, so being hunted on both sides. And now Allegro, it seems like the vampires, as obviously as threatening as they are, especially with Allegro, like he's just trying to protect Fine, and they both have reasons, right? Like they're for Momo, they're thinking she's gonna get turned, or she's just gonna be fed upon. But for Allegro and Fine, it is slightly different because we do get a little bit of history as to why he's doing his best to protect her. And from council members, they're saying like you got to get her back, is because this has happened to her once before when she, with the roles are reversed, where a human is actually taking a young Fine at the time, and they're trying to coexist. I mean, there's one world, and that's what the whole emphasis of this. And we do get a little bit pieces here and there as from episode 2 and transitioning into episode 3, where Fine and Momo are, they're in a car and they're just going through checkpoints, vampire checkpoints at that. And so there's a bridge that they are crossing over towards where there's 2 cities connected by one bridge with green lights on one side indicating the human side, and red light, the red light district, if you will, for the vampires. And so you could see like there is a huge difference. Like you don't step on this side, you don't go on this side, but there are some exchanges that are here and there, because they do like with Kubo, like he's handing out like he needs information. He's saying like, have you seen Momo? Have you seen this girl? To vampires that are just kind of hiding in the dark, and they're giving them blood as an exchange for information. So they're coexisting only for one's benefit, right? But that's not the case with Momo and Fine. There's as time progresses, they just want to find this place called Eden, and obviously Eden is a place where they are vampires, humans are coexisting and cooperating together as one, where like they don't have to live in fear and in constant war. And
there's music, for God's sakes.
Yes, they're playing music. There's flowers all over the place. Well, maybe not flowers, but there's sunshine. And sunshine is a good thing. And so,
the Sunshine Band is a good thing too.
Oh yes. But you know what, Stephen? Just like how you said that Fine doesn't feed, in episode 3, we do see the repercussions of her not feeding, because just like the Daywalker himself, Blade, she is going through withdrawals, and she is. She sees Momo, and she can kind of see the veins in her on her body, and she just has a moment, a very weak moment, where she snaps, and she's just like trying to save her, but at the same time she's hurting her, because they all have formed this bond together. And she's like, you need to get out. But she's telling her to get out, and Momo is in vampire territory, and for damn sure they're not just going to see a flank steak just walking by and let it slide. They're going to try they're going to try to eat her. But Momo, she's thinking of Finne, and she's trying to grab some blood from the other side. So she's got to cross enemy lines into her own kind. They call them worms, into the human side to get some blood. But they're thinking that she's a vampire, and they're just like, nah, sister, you got to hit the road. But she infiltrates the base, another military base, and so she cracks open, some safes and gets some blood. But again, she's on the run from both sides. Allegro, is hot on the trail, as well as Kubo. Momo does so happen to save Finne from her hunger. However, it just really is painful to her, because she's seeing like you can't just give up on me either. You said that this is something that we're going to do together. You can't just tell me to leave. I'm not going to give up on you if you don't give up on me. And so they continue on their travels, and eventually they do find this place, Eden, that they're looking for, that has been on postcards, just kind of scattered around throughout their travels from different place to place. And life seems like it's pretty good, like they do get that human side. They do see the vampires kind of, mingling with one another, but it's not going to be all sunshine and rainbows, you guys, like not especially with this place, and I don't know about you, Steve, but when I got the glimpse of this place and obviously finding out the truth about it, it really did give me more of a Walking Dead, the governor kind of vibe, where things are just too good to be true here, you guys, right, Steve?
Oh yeah, when I saw that, like them going like closer, and then it started unraveling, I was like, dude, very Walking Dead-ish.
Yeah.
Like would you why would you want to go there, like in enemy territory, and just willy-nilly just kind of be like, hey, how's it going? You got to come in with like guns blazing and be like, say another
yeah.
and the shit is over.
Yeah. And you ain't playing, man. And neither is Finne, because Finne, she knows that there's something off about this place. However, there is another vampire, another young gal that seems to be like our governor girl. And so she takes a liking to Momo right away. And you could tell like she's purposefully trying to distance Momo from Finne. And Finne is just kind of allowing this to happen, and just like is maybe purposefully allowing this distance to become, greater, so that maybe she could just say like, okay, like you're going to be happy here, and I got to go back to my queen duties. You know what I mean? But obviously this isn't what she wants. And this place, it sucks. They keep vampires, they feed them, and they're just basically fueling these vampires with blood to, have electricity, and other things, other benefits from being able to use a vampire for whatever reason. But they're doing this, of course, behind closed doors. And this door is actually a submarine, in the Arctic. And so, S hits the fan really fast in this place, because not only do we get Kubo and the rest of the humans that are kind of hot on their trail with these kind of mecha-like bots,
steampunkish even.
That's right, yeah, Mega Man X bots, you know what I mean? But you also get the vampires that are, again, and Allegro is only trying to he's really just trying to get Finne back. She goes missing, like she's hurt, she's down. And so is Momo, because now we got, homegirl Governorette, like trying to kill her, like, thanks for bringing down the party,
Yeah.
Yeah. And so,
you call the cops freaking narcs.
Yeah, the freaking narcs, the narcs brought the pain with them. And so, so Momo, she has this, kind of like a switchblade that's on her arm that Finne gave her, just said like, yo, protect your neck if something happens. And so that's exactly what she does. And so everybody, Allegro's just like, well, where's Finne? You got to find her, and on the other side, like, Momo is like trying to handle business. Finne comes to from wherever she was. They had her, taken. They had her taken. She comes to, she finds Momo, brings her out, and they're just, again, still, trying to find that place on the run, but things just are not going their way. They're going to be continued hunting, their game at this point now, and so someone's got to pay. And unfortunately, they're more or less looking at Finne, the queen, because she is the bloodsucker here, you guys. And so Finne does what any sacrificial, character would do for somebody that they love and that they care about. And so she hides Momo and she injects herself with that serum and she goes off and, like she's defending herself. However, there is a point in time where,
the numbers
where, yeah, Steve. I mean, do you have what do you have to add, especially with this fight scene, because you get Kubo versus Finne, and we also find out something about Kubo too.
Oh yeah, dude.
But first, I was gonna say, but first, let's holler at our man Raging Cajun in the house. JD, what's happening, playa?
What's going on, brother? JD with his comic and collectible treasures with a passion, brother.
Woo!
My brother, what's going on?
He did an impromptu, you got to catch that, you guys. Yes, I loved it. Yep.
It was crazy, man. Like to see that part. You do get to see like them grow as they're going along in this journey and stuff. You get to see their goods and bads. And during that battle, it was crazy, man, because like she selflessly, she's not feeding, so she now knows like, oh, I gotta protect Momo. And as she goes berserk, and she's doing a good job, but the numbers just catch up to her. Like freaking Unk freaking shoves the sword so far up her chest, see it out the other end, dude. Like I'm like, cough for me.
But yeah.
She's getting shot at with bullets and shit like that. She's getting rung up like freaking.
She's getting jumped. That's basically, that's the equivalent of she's getting jumped.
Yeah, but she's holding her own, man. She's holding her own. It's a good thing. But I mean, them getting away. I mean, it's hard because you see Momo getting in the way of her uncle. Her uncle's like grabbing her through to the ground, throws her, and he's just like in sheer and utter like disbelief. He's like, "What is you talking about? What are you here with her for? Like, they're vampires. We need to freaking kill them. Exterminate them." But it's like what it is. It's like it's that bond that they have of they're just kindred spirits. They're furry and they're trying to all equate their same thing. Momo's not like fulfilled with her life, and that's why their plan was to leave to find fulfillment. And like Fine is more or less like no longer in battle, no longer in that position of being queen. More or less, I just want to live my life in peace.
Yeah.
But that war was bad. I mean, that war was just hideous, man, for Fine.
Yeah, it was pretty brutal because something that we end up finding out with these serums, it's like a one use thing and it costs you your life. So it's basically like a Hail Mary, like to more or less protect those around you. Because as soon as you inject yourself, you're out. The clock is ticking, you guys. And so we got Chef R.D. Harris. What's going on, brother?
What's cooking, baby?
But going back to this battle and Finne defending herself and Momo, kind of in this blind rage, also hurting Momo, but at the same time when Finne has Kubo, her uncle, on the ground, and Kubo is like saying like, go ahead and show her, like, kill me and show her the true beast that you are, because this is what you do. And Finne kind of snaps to herself and she like doesn't do that and she backs off. And so to Kubo's surprise, and to us as the viewers learning later, is that the reason why he's surprised is because at one point in time when he was younger, he was just like Momo. He had a vampire that he was in love with and that he was about to marry, and something happened where somebody got hungry, I guess, and one of the vampires got hungry, and then everybody started to try to feed on these humans. And so Kubo tried to coexist with the vampire too, and it just wasn't happening. And Mama Navarra just busted a cap in her head, and so she's like, this can't happen. And so now it gets you to realize that Kubo is just jaded from his experience, and it's just like it just can't happen. If it can't happen for me, it can't happen for anybody. However, that isn't true. And so Momo and Finne flee. They find a place. But again, that serum was a Hail Mary shot. And so Finne, unfortunately, is basically saying her goodbyes to Momo. And Momo obviously has a certain way. She, like she's grown a love for Finne and for all the things that she's taught her. But Steve, now, and one thing that I have to ask you, did you finish the entire credit scene of this anime?
Oh yeah. So I saw what happened after. So I was like, okay.
Yes. So
all the boys.
I mean, you want to tell us what you saw, brother?
Nah, you tell them what you saw, brother. Come on, man.
Okay.
Get them all warm and cuddly, bro.
Well, again, like how I said, like Eden is could be too good to be true. However, Momo being the main character that she is, she builds this utopia, this cohabitating area. But this time we got flowers. It's springtime. So they went from like Russia to like, I don't know what countryside, Kansas or something. They're going to some place that has flowers. It's springtime, cottage. Vampires with hoodies, walking in the sun, playing with humans. You know what I mean? Like you're getting that utopia, that Eden. And you get to see Momo that is carrying, holding a little vampire child. And so like there is a happy ending towards this. So if you guys do get an opportunity to watch it, yes, I spoiled it. I'm sorry, but this was a pretty decent, anime. A quick watch, like I said. The animation was really good. Some might say a little, I know. Last couple of times we were on, Steven, we went through some sad ones. This one isn't as sad, but it's still kind of sad. Because it's just really showing maybe a little bit of truth to how, us today in our world, like we all just want to, like exist together. You know what I mean? You got hate that's that's big, out here in the world. And you know what I'm saying? Like it's just a sad sight to see. But hopefully we'll get there. We'll get there to that point where we're all just like vibing right. You know what I'm saying?
I feel you, man. One day at a time, brother.
That's
man, you painted the perfect picture. But you want me to give him a rundown, dude?
Sure. Yeah, let's do it.
You want to give him a rundown for the week, man? So, guys, we're going to get off right now, man. We're going to be getting off right now. Do not forget, for the love of covers, for the love of God, go for Cover Lovers, man. You got my man Alonzo, you got my man Big Rob, you got my man Jeff at Geek Driven, and you got Mike Morella over at CBSI.
That's right. Catch it.
Go get it. Man, then you got the catch-ups of catch-ups with Obi-Wan, with JR. You got Geek Driven going over Ms. Marvel. Then you got Thursday, Mondo Mail Call with Candace, man. So we got a week on week on week. So
yes.
Another
full week, you guys.
Another full week, man, in the trenches, brother. But with that being said, man, do you want to take them out?
That's right.
That FANime style.
That's right. Be my pleasure, you guys. Thank you again for joining us in the live chat. We'll go ahead and see you on Cover Lovers. And again, thank you guys all for, on the Rewind Watch It too. And if you want to view it right, Anime for Life.
Oh, nice.
Peace out, you guys. Much love.
Much love, y'all.
Bye.